today's event, and I will just introduce ma'am. Okay, so Professor Asha Rani Kapoor is an accomplished industrial and institutional trainer with a diverse background. Since 2005, she has delivered over 2,000 lectures on soft skills, HR, motivation, agriculture, and veterinary sectors. Her expertise extends to various prestigious institutions and organizations, including the Forest Research Institute, Central Academy for State Forest Services, and the Ministry of Defense Institute of Technology Management, among many others. Professor Kapoor is also a sought-after corporate trainer for clients such as Godrej Consumer Products Limited, TVS Motor Corp, and Dr. Reddy's Pharmaceuticals. Her educational background is genetics. She conducted research on the photothermoquantum effect on early wheat development. In addition, she holds a diploma in community development and financial planning from IIM Calcutta, as well as a soft skills diploma from TCS. Beyond her academic and corporate roles, Professor Kapoor has a rich history of social engagement, including 2 decades of work. Imanshu ji, mute kar lijiye. Okay. So yeah, beyond her academic and corporate roles, Professor Kapoor has a rich history of social engagement, including 2 decades of work with tea tribes and ethnic tribal communities in Northeast India, focusing on health, nutrition, hygiene, and MDM schemes. Her efforts in environmental activism include work to protect the Doon Valley from toxic waste and preserve tea gardens from unplanned urbanization. She received the Social Excellence Award from the Tatas and the Uttarakhand Gaurav Samman for her contribution in 2015. Professor Kapoor's commitment to excellence continues to drive her work, and it's an honor to have you amongst us, ma'am. And today, we are just waiting to be, a part of this mindful activity with you. So thank you so much again, ma'am, for accepting our invitation. And over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. I welcome you all. And as far as your pretty Manisha ma'am is concerned, we have a long collaboration since the inception of RKVY Raftar in India. And she has been motivating women in general for striving for entrepreneurship excellence. And I welcome all of you here. First of all, I'll request everybody to just say your name and just one line about your baby, which is startup here. Just one line, so that I've read about you all. Just one, and if possible, I'm sure you are in a connectivity area. You can just switch on your cameras for a moment so that I know the beautiful class I have in the morning with me. So just 1 minute to each one of you. Yeah.
Hello, ma'am. May I start?
Sure.
Yeah, Dr. Asim.
Hello. Yes. Hello, ma'am. I'm Ashim Kumar Shaha, co-founder of Navarit Innovation Private Limited. We are based in Hyderabad and IIT Guwahati. So, ma'am, we are into agri-tech, and we are specially working on to improve livelihood of small-scale farmers of India with our solar and IoT-powered water management and farm management system. And the same system in near future, we have a plan to do early pest prediction.
Take turns, volunteer yourself so that we have time corpus with us. Yeah.
Good morning. My name is Nagraj. I'm from Bangalore. Currently doing a product for pesticide spray. Okay, it's an automated robotic pesticide.
Go on.
Hi.
Next. Yeah. Next one. Yeah.
Hello, ma'am. Good morning, ma'am. Ma'am, I'm Dr. Harshit Mishra from Climate Analytics. We are working on basically we are developing a SaaS platform to reduce the weather-induced yield losses from planning to harvesting stage. And right now we are developing our solution particularly for the planning stage. So this is about the Climate. We are a Kanpur-based company. Yeah. Thank you.
Hi, ma'am. This side is Nikhil, and we are basically into manufacturing of baby foods and food for all. We are based out of Jamshedpur, Jharkhand.
Interesting.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
Myself, I'm Ranju Minhas. For past 1 decade, I have been researching on managing the household kitchen waste, how best we can do it, and especially in urban homes. So, and there I have designed a bin, which I wish to incubate with Pusa Krishi. And of course, I have been working on bio cleaners made out of bioenzymes. One or two have been lab tested, and so I I seek more support and guidance in that area.
Wonderful.
And
one
yeah.
bin? Pardon. Only
No, one is the compost bin. It's aerobic compost bin. And the other one is the other section is the bio cleaners and bioenzymes with almost 98% bioenzyme and rest 2% formulations. So few have been lab tested and some not lab tested but doing very well. So I need guidance on that. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Thank you, ma'am.
Hello, ma'am. This is Kumar Vishal Singh. Asha Wine, we are based at Lucknow. Can you hear me, ma'am?
Yes. लखनऊ
We are
वालों को
based in-
आदाब, हम भी लखनऊ से हैं.
बहुत
Yes.
अच्छा रहा मैम, आपसे मुलाकात हो गई इसमें भी.
जी.
मैम, वी आर ट्राइंग टू मेक वाइन फ्रॉम मैंगो. अपना ये मैंगो बेल्ट है, इसका पोस्ट हार्वेस्ट जो भी खराब होते हैं मैंगो और इन सबको लेते हुए उसका मैनेजमेंट करते हुए वी आर ट्राइंग टू मेक wine from mango. So this is our innovation.
Mango is a very, very fast fermenting food.
Yeah.
And, on wine, I'll share with the class. I used to do lychee wines in Assam. I've lived in Northeast for 17 to 20 years, visiting as a visiting wife for 18 years and lived physically there for 17 years as I worked in the R&D of Tata Tea. So I used to do lychee wines.
Okay.
And
So, ma'am, it's a bit difficult. So we are trying to find the exact yeast and the strain that can be used to get a smooth taste and aroma, which should be consistent. So we are working on it right now.
yeah, it's a very difficult fruit to do wine with. And if time allows, we'll discuss more on this. Thank you.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Ma'am, this side Himanshu Singh from Aligarh, Uttar Pradesh, and I am a founder of Farming Robo. Actually, we innovate a robo that can help farmers to spray in farms automatically, and there are lots of things that can do. That is intercultivation of in row. That is sowing in line to line and row to row. And second thing, it can be distribute fertilizer in farm and also a seed.
Okay, Himanshu, how old are you, Himanshu?
Sorry, ma'am.
What is your age, Himanshu?
Ma'am, and not yet. There is any not any raise I didn't. Actually, we just innovate that product since 2 months back.
आपकी उम्र
So
क्या है?
now,
आपकी
oh,
उम्र
sorry,
क्या
ma'am.
है?
Sorry, ma'am. I am 29 years old.
29. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Good.
Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good
Divyanshu this side. I'm from Jharkhand, Ranchi, Jharkhand, and we are trying to make a biomass-based supply chain for the biomass-based industry.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Myself, Neha. I'm from Kanpur. I'm co-founder of Clim Agro Analytics. As Harshit already said, climate risk management. We are working on climate risk management.
Oh, I have huge learning from you guys. I'll talk to you about this. Okay, next.
Thank you, ma'am.
Hi guys, are you done or somebody else left?
Good afternoon. Am I audible?
Yeah, Abhinav, please.
My name is Abhinav. I am from Saharanpur. And our startup is Javik Kalp. Javik as in organic, Kalp as in one day of Lord Brahma. So for organic times. And we are trying to create an AI-based learning platform integrated with e-commerce platform to help the farmers grow and sell organic products and crops.
Have we met before in any of the cohorts in any universities? You look familiar.
Not yet, ma'am, but I would take it as a compliment.
Great. All right. अब मैं सब हो गया introduction?
Good afternoon, ma'am. My name is Anirvid, Dr. Anirvid. I am from Calcutta, and I am a vet. We have developed a mobile application to take care of livestock healthcare for our livestock farmers who are based out of rural India, to bridge the gap between a vet and the livestock. So this is a mobile application.
I have one question for you later on. Be alert. I'll be asking you a question regarding the veterinary health and apps.
Okay, ma'am.
Good afternoon, everybody. Hello, ma'am. This is SHITIJ. Sorry, actually, I'm traveling, so I'm not able to on my camera.
It's okay.
We are, so our startup, I'm co-founder of Fruits Technologies Private Limited. We are working on quality solution based on computer vision for agriculture produce. To begin with, it will be a groundnut. And we are working on physical quality parameters as well as internal quality parameters based on computer vision and AI/ML model.
And I like the spelling of fruits in your startup.
Actually, a lot of people ask why fruit stands for what. So I'll just take a couple of seconds to mention that fruits is food with good roots. So F for food and good roots is roots. So that's how we said that whatever food the customer is getting should be having good quality produce.
Wonderful. I think all done.
Hello, ma'am. This is Sumit Dandekar from Nagpur. Our startup EasyWire Technology develops smart devices with which you can remotely monitor, control, and schedule your motor pump. And this can be done via a mobile application.
Motor pump, interesting. I need a timer for my own motor pump because I have a solar tank.
Right.
Every time I time it beats me every time. Sometimes 5 minutes is X over, sometimes 10 minutes is less. So I really need to know things from you later.
Yeah, that can be done for sure.
During the open house. Thank you. Please
Sure.
remember to give your inputs.
Sure.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
So, ma'am, I'm Utsav Mishra and I'm from the Climb Agro Analytics team. So, I'm also a co-founder of that Climb Agro Analytics. So, basically, I recently submitted my PhD thesis, and my thesis is mostly in groundwater contamination due to this hazard waste dumped in open landfill sites, and then developing artificial recharge zones. So, mostly this is most of my personal end. So, my PhD this side, and like my team has already briefed about what or maybe we are planning to develop. So it is mostly crop specific relevant advisory before the planning stage, because once you have sown the crop, you cannot go back. So you just have to then do the damage control only. So we are like on the basis of coming 3 to 5 months, which crop will be more resilient to the upcoming season. So there are chances, still there is a chance to switch to that particular crop. So this is we are intended to do using developing by certain AI engine. So we are in process and our proof of concept is in progress. So we are hopeful and the initial results are very promising. So we are planning to develop along with the Pusha. Yes.
I have a question. How far the contamination travels from the dump?
Ma'am, it depends on the subsurface setting. So if it is like porous medium, means if you have a porous lithology, like if it is sand, coarse gravel, so then there is a very much chances permeable zone present. But if there is a shale or like clay layer, so clay layer act as a yeah, so it won't allow it to go down. So this is also a part of before building a landfill site, you should see how the subsurface lithology is built. So there, this whole my field actually, I'm applied geophysicist. So basically, oil and gas sector is my core area. So this is how, and like in Kanpur, we have a high chromium concentration due to this tannery and all those things. So many of the hazardous waste are dumped in a just in open landfill land areas. So I worked in Kanpur Dehat, one of the highly polluted site with chromium. So yeah, that's my.
It's very sad because I worked personally as a scientist on this, as Manisha ma'am mentioned, on the toxic waste from Coca-Cola. So we were the first town in Dehradun to tear the MOU between the then government of Mr. Vijay Bahuguna of Congress and the Coca-Cola, and we were the first to close it down before the inception. I led a movement, I'll talk about it. I personally led a movement of 5,000 farmers.
Great.
I'll talk about it.
Yeah, maybe we can discuss, like we are running out of time.
Because real life case studies are the main learning.
Ma'am, could you believe the site which I worked is 700 times the chromium 6 concentration is 700 times than the permissible limit, and people are drinking that water. Yeah, ma'am. So
I can see that. I've seen Jamna ji getting ruined in Delhi, Trans Jamna from Uttar Pradesh. When you go, I've got down from the vehicle. I've seen the contamination levels. I've seen the fish dying there.
Yeah.
But we will not wake up unless a catastrophe takes place. Anyway. God bless you for doing a good job. But implement it to the core value, to the need of the hour. Implement it there. Just don't stop at the thesis.
Yes.
Yeah. Wonderful.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Just like to say, ma'am, that as a nation, when we are we really ready for food quality vis-a-vis food security?
Yeah, I'll come back to that. That's a very dear topic to me. And I work, I am the master trainer and the teacher's trainer for FSSI Pan India. And I'll come back to that. Remind me to discuss that. So can I start the presentation now?
Sure, ma'am. Yeah.
Yeah, if somebody's left. Manisha, may I?
Ma'am, I think they are all done.
If somebody is left, then we can do it later. All right?
Yeah. All right, ma'am.
Okay. So good afternoon, everybody, once again, and I welcome all of you in this morning session. I will come back after the presentation and ask you what is the learning in today's session. So please be prepared for the questions. It cannot be one way that I'm talking and you're listening, and in the meanwhile you're driving and having your coffee, because it should be advantageous for us to learn in the comfort of our homes and deliver from the comfort of our homes rather than making it a less serious business. So I'm sorry to say that I'm a little no-nonsense kind of a teacher. So I'll ask each one of you questions. So please be prepared and put everything down. If it is not very important and life-threatening, be with me for half an hour. All right, everybody? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, please, because kindly value the expertise and the time a mentor puts in. Kindly do that. God bless. So today I'm assigned with the task from PUSA, your institute for the time being, for elaborating on the empathy in business. Everybody be active. What is the difference between sympathy and empathy? Can anybody raise your hands or write in the chat box? My session will be all question, answer, and interactive. It will not be a monologue. All right. What is sympathy and what is empathy? Tell me.
Hello.
Yes, please go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, ma'am. Maybe empathy is kind of maybe
more bit understanding each other, and sympathy maybe just to kind of helping or something in that way maybe.
Ma'am, empathy has more deeper association than just sympathy. So empathy is like within sympathy is within empathy, and empathy is about like how you're connecting yourself with the feeling of others, and then and sympathy is more of just okay, if something happened, you are just shown your grief or sadness. That's it.
Okay, anyone else?
Hello, ma'am. Empathy is feeling someone pain, and some sympathy is just understand that pain. कि आप उसको फील नहीं कर पा रहे हो, उसको मतलब दुख को सिर्फ समझ रहे हो कि उसको दुख हुआ है, बट एम्पैथी में आप उसके दुख को अपना मान के उसके अकॉर्डिंग ही रिएक्ट कर रहे हो.
Okay, okay. So see,
Empathy is seeing, their point of view. Okay, the sympathy is no, it's just a feeling. Okay.
See, sympathy we have now as a definition. Sympathy is a feeling of pity for another person. Like you pity a person who's selling pens to get 10 rupees from you, or selling the screens for your car, or selling a tissue paper box. You feel sympathy, and out of sympathy, you buy something from that person. Oh, well, let me help him to earn his today's bread. So many times, because human heart is full of sympathy, and a deeper level is empathy. Somebody answered it correctly. Empathy refers to the capacity or building to imagine. If you were in that person's place, what would you do? What would be your life if you are there selling out those things? If you see a person injured after a road accident on the street, what do we do normally in India? Kindly mute everybody.
Yeah, ma'am, I am taking care of
Chat
it.
room, kindly mute everybody. See, sympathy we all have when you see a accident victim. But how many of us are empathetic to put that person in the car and take to the hospital without even deliberating on the repercussions of police and the system in our country? So this is the clear difference. When you put yourself in someone else's shoes, is everybody comfortable with English? Everyone? All right. Yeah, because I see people from all parts of country, and experiencing the emotions and the ideas and opinions of that person. If you see an accident victim, a school-going child, in pain, bleeding, if you feel ye mera bachcha bhi ho sakta tha, you will immediately, your heart will tell to lift that child immediately and take to the hospital. That is empathy. Sympathy is you are standing, you are dialing 100 or 108, and you are calling the police / ambulance. Have you understood it clearly now? That is the difference. So I'm here to tell you, as a motivational speaker and as a speaker and as a trainer for human resource and soft skills, that how to cultivate. There are many types of personalities in this world, primarily 16 and then 64 and then every day evolving. We all are driven by our DNA and circumstances to be a certain personality type. I congratulate and commend all of you to take a leap into entrepreneurship journey, to take your life's reins in your hands. So I will be speaking to you about develop more empathy, develop more compassion, develop more listening skills, develop more logical reasoning, so that your business grows and you grow as a person in your life's journey. So these are the basic two differences between sympathy and empathy. Only emotion does not run the business. Only empathy does not run the business. It's a hard skill. It's a hard skill. You are investing yourself into others. That is your team. With effect from today, when I'm starting my journey, these become your strengths if you learn them correctly. Some you are born with, these are your innate qualities. But if we aren't born with some innate qualities, we can develop them by conscious effort. And workplace ethics and empathy is really need of the hour. For example, what we as employers did to our employees during the pandemic. 25th March 2020, India went for a severe lockdown. I live in a gated community. Our servants weren't allowed to come unless they were living in your bungalow cottage. What did we do? We still paid them their salaries. That is empathy. So the pandemic has taught us many things beside the workplace empathy. We were giving food to the dependents. We were giving food to the low-income families. We were giving them salaries and we were working day in and day out to run our lives. So this was positive. Those workers came back to you. Whereas the families who weren't compassionate, big business houses, they lost out on their manpower. They had to restart looking for a human resource pool. So this is going to go a long way for you all. As I said, certain qualities are innate qualities, and the most important skill which you must have as humans, as entrepreneurs, as startup experts, as the CEO of your own work, is listening skill. My dear class, you need to listen with compassion, with care, with open mind, without judging people, so that you learn and you groom a beautiful team which stays with you. When I talk about prospects and strategies of businesses and startups in India, I always say retain your team. Don't spin the wheel of sitting down for interviewing people again and again, each day, each month, each year. Retain your team, and that comes by empathy when you see yourself in the other person's shoes, when you see across the table. All right. So I will talk about 20 traits, but before that, let me touch base. Why should we encourage empathy? We must listen to other person as if I am going through that problem. Cultivate listening skills to your team as well as to your own self. Genuine perspective should be taken. If somebody has a genuine problem, for example, one of your employees or your colleagues or your co-founder has a medical condition at home, you must be empathetic to shoulder the double responsibilities as a co-founder. That leads to a compassionate team building. It cultivates compassion. And all over the world, we have seen it supports the people for their personal growth. Be it an organization of 100 people, be it the organization of 2 people. That's your startup. Be it your family-run business. Be, for that matter, be running a family. The oldest conglomerate of entrepreneurship, the first startups, the first entrepreneurship was done by Tatas in India. And they were so empathetic. Jamshedji Tata was the first person to start gratuity and PF for the employees. So remember, empathy goes a long way. They haven't collapsed. 150 plus years, how many generations have gone? They haven't collapsed. And you see, in your lifetime, the richest business house in India will definitely collapse. Mark my words. Because they are hardcore business house striving for only money. I don't see any empathy in them. So This is very important to tell you about these points. What are the benefits? Before I go to the traits you need as a good CEO of your own startup or your own company, your own established business. What are the benefits? Once you know the benefits, you will listen to me more carefully, with more attention. Empathy strengthens the professional interactions, and it makes our relationship which thrives in business. Positive and cohesive workplace culture, happiness in the room, in your office, from wherever you're working. Happiness. If you work, I always tell, I've been a teacher for 35 years. A happy child comes from a happy home to school, oblique college, oblique university, oblique office. A happy individual comes from a happy home. Similarly, if a person comes from a happy home and you are not a happy person, that person will not stay around with you for longer because your energies aren't matching. So there are huge benefits of creating or generating the empathetic workplace culture where everybody has a win-win situation. Your staff will stay with you. Your mind will function for positive results whole day, increased productivity, working together in a cohesive environment, better collaboration between you and your employees or you and your co-founders, you and your friends, better cultural sensitivity as individuals. You have multi-language, multi-state, multi-color, multi-race people in India. We need to be more compassionate, more considerate of the diversity of staff's background. You can't be just having one complete judgmental attitude. And then when you have a happy workplace, a happy production place, a happy manufacturing unit, why do we listen to the music when we are driving? Because it makes us happy. And happy hormones don't make us tired when you're going to drive 300, 400, 500 kilometers. And at the end of the day, when you are making or manufacturing something or launching in the market, it is for customers to buy. So customer satisfaction will become the culture of your entrepreneurship, and you will have a happy customer base in the market. So these are the benefits. And now I will go to the traits one by one. Please be here. It will be 20 minutes down the journey. Quickly, I'll say, what are the traits, if you don't have already, you need to cultivate? As I said, we all come from different backgrounds, different parents, different family conditions, different growing up environments. Each individual is a product of heredity, environment, circumstances. Today, I am what I am because of my DNA, my lineage, my bringing up, and my circumstances. Inquisitive people are those people who take interest in other people's life for primarily knowing them by asking insightful questions. This comes at the beginning of your entrepreneurship when you have a requirement of a team. Ask questions to get insight into a person's life. When we hire a driver or a gardener, we ask questions. We talk about salary. We ask कहाँ के हो, कौन हो, क्या उम्र है, किस बैकग्राउंड के हो, शादी हुई है कि नहीं, बच्चे हैं कि नहीं घर में, क्योंकि ड्राइवर की जॉब डे एंड नाइट होती है. तो आप सवाल जवाब पूछते हैं because that's going to help you to decide whether you should hire that person as your driver or not. One example, many more. So first trait is be inquisitive. Get insight into person's life without sounding too over the board. Rationally ask the questions. selflessness. You think about other person's comfort also. Just don't think about me. I come to office at 9, so my office boy should be here at 7 o'clock. No. He can come at 8:30 and clean the space before you come. You will see he will happily work. Empathetic people are considerate. He has a family too. If I have to go to office at 10, I'll call my office boy and the coffee boy 20 minutes before me, with the condition that when I enter the room, my office should be spick and span and my coffee table ready. Selflessness. If you have that, wonderful. And most of the startup founders and co-founders have these virtues. Once again, just a reminder to work on them at a different level. So first was get insightful knowledge about the person you're going to work with, including your co-founders and founders, for everybody. Selflessness, creativity. Think deeply about the feelings of others. Creative thinking is the gem for workplace. That's like a rocket launch at workplace. Great trait. Creativity is a great thing to encourage in the forward-thinking organization, in a team. Creative. Everybody is creative. Give everybody a space to learn. For example, you are fond of a good cup of tea. Teach your tea boy or a girl how to make a cup of tea. Nobody can make the way you make. At least that rule applies to me. I brew my own teas wherever in the world I'm traveling. So, but in circumstances where people ask me, what type of tea you want, ma'am, I will give them instructions. But then, if it is not as close as I expected, I'll still give a pat at the back for the creativity they have tried to do for that perfect cup of tea. According to them, that's the perfect cup of tea. So the creativity needs encouragement, forward thinking, complementing each other. Similar is the example in your workplace, in your baby, which I call the startup. In QBs, I tell them that the startup is your baby when you hold the finger and try to walk the startup as we do in a young toddler in the house. First is, we'll repeat, inquisitive. I'll ask you all in the same order. So please be here with me. Inquisitiveness, selflessness, creativity, and the fourth is problem-solving attitude. I've seen so many people fail as far as a trained resource of human is concerned, resourceful, because they want everything their way. No, you cannot. The way I can do things for myself, the way I can fix a meal for myself, nobody on earth can do that. Maybe a trained chef will do better work. The way I bake a loaf of bread for myself with the millets, nobody else can do that. No matter what big, tall claims they have. But there is a solution. Problem solving. I have a girl who bakes for me. I had an issue with her of not having the fingertail millet / ragi content in my bread. So I told her. She was willing to learn. I was empathetic to her problem. I volunteered to increase the rate of my specially custom-made loaf by 25%. Problem solved. Because she was asking more money, because the ragi flour is more expensive than the self-raising flour. That way, I avoided conflict. I have no time to bake right now. I'm busy. I have a person who can do equally good job, say 80% equally good. So I hired that person with the problem-solving approach. One example you can implement in your own life. So fourth is problem solving, third is creativity, second is selflessness, first is inquisitiveness. Now I come to the trait compassion. Compassion works for everybody. Mother Teresa got Nobel Prize for being compassionate. So compassion leads to some wonderful jobs. People with compassionate hearts have been the world leaders world over. So compassion is irreplaceable trait in a human. A person who's non-judgmental has good listening skills, who recognizes the worth of an individual, who supports the person in the need. The more compassion you have at the workplace, the more accomplished your workplace becomes. Mark my words, I'm speaking with an example, my own life's example. Compassion can drive people to do work for you double than what you expect. And then comes the patience. So problem solving, compassion, and patience. Patience is required for you. If you're restless, it's good for your startup because there's a fire in your belly. But be patient with the team. Nothing can happen before time. The designated time in a particular journey is destined. Have patience. Exercising patience helps. I'll take the questions later, please. Dr. Sarkar. Helping to reduce stress and conflict in the team. Note down the questions. This provides a positive example.
Ma'am, actually, your voice is not properly audible. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay, all right. Is it better now?
Yeah, it's a lot better now.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Because when I'm speaking, I close my eyes and just go in a different energy level. All right. I'll be more mindful for this. Thank you.
I'm so sorry, ma'am. Okay.
No, thank you for correcting, Dr. Sarkar. Thank you. An empathetic personality can improve the productivity. The whole team will be dedicated. Be patient. I've been a very restless young woman in my young days. But then patience helps. You know, it helps you a great deal. You have less stress, less conflict. Your day is more positive. You can harness your energies. The whole world will help with you. I've seen people who have compassion and patience have better problem solving ability than others. Okay? So here we are talking about inquisitiveness. दूसरे के बारे में पूछना है, सिर्फ अपनी requirements को नहीं रखना है, उनकी strengths and weaknesses को ध्यान से सुनना है, क्रिएटिव तरीके से काम करना है, प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग एटीट्यूड के साथ ऑफिस में आना है, हैव कंपैशन इन द हार्ट. आई एम टेलिंग यू, अ कंपैशनेट हार्ट कैन विन ओवर एवरीबॉडी. Then patience is a great virtue in humans, more so in a businessman. Active listening. When I talk about communication skills, I always say that 55% is the talking and 45% is listening. Class, if you are not listening to me properly, what is the point of my communicating? Active listening and passive listening are two types of communication. If you're actively listening to me, if you have put everything down and treat this half an hour dialogue with us as important life enhancing session, you will learn. Active listening is very important. For example, your office boy is late and you have to come and use the second key to open your office and clean and do the dusting and make first cup of tea for yourself. There are two ways to look at it. A, you wait with compassion, empathy in your heart, patiently, and listen to him actively when he or she come. And then you react. Second line is, you've already been fuming and reacting. I've hired this person. I give him 10,000 rupees. He's late. He's every day late. How the hell he's late? I'll sort him out, etc., etc. Your day is ruined. So is his. So active listening is very important. And that comes by patience. So when you are sitting to interview a team or negotiate the salaries or talk about their skills, if you are listening properly, you are a successful entrepreneur. The most important virtue or trait of being an empathetic businessman is active listening. Underline this. We don't listen. In today's time and world, humanity is deafened by the inner voices of only our need. We don't listen. Oh, you will argue, ma'am, I listen all the time. No, active listening is very important. Now, appreciation of solitude. आपने किसी को एक काम दे दिया, बार बार उसको जाके पोक नहीं करने का है. That person will be overwhelmed, will be uncomfortable. You've given a task at 9 a.m. and go and just have an appraisal at 5 p.m. Don't disturb. I've seen when you give freewheeling choice, it's my favorite word with my own children as well. When you give freewheeling choice to other human beings, the results are better. When you like your own privacy of sitting in your office as a co-founder or a founder of an organization, so is your worker, so is your marketing guy, so is your logistic arms, so it's your office staff, anybody starting from peon to the driver, to the help, to the people working in the farm, to the kashtkar, everything according to your line of work, whatever work you are doing. Appreciate other person's boundaries, and that gives dignity to the labor. Trustworthiness. If you delegate,
मैम आवाज ना कुछ कम आ रही है, अगर आपका माइक आसपास है तो.
माइक मेरे पास माइक इसी में है ये. एक मिनट. Maybe the level and the distance of my laptop is slightly. Is it better now, Manisha?
हाँ, अब बहुत साफ है मैम.
Because the level, yeah, I'm sitting on a chair which is all right. I have to raise the laptop. Give me a minute.
ठीक है मैम.
In between, somebody reminded me. Let me raise it because I think even I changed the chair today. Maybe that.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. It will be better now. Give me a minute. Because some people are driving. Now it's all right?
Ma'am, हाँ जी, अभी better.
Thank you. So trustworthiness is very, very important. Ask me how. You have hired people. People feel relaxed and comfortable sharing all kind of information with you because you are an empathetic employer. And you provide support time to time. And you trust people that I've delegated this work and they will do it with flying colors. That's the way to look at things. Trustworthiness. Trust everybody's intelligence. Everybody has innate IQ, inborn IQ. Trust that. Then helpful. A good businessman, a good entrepreneur will be helpful to others to avoid other people feeling rejected. They should not have that feeling in them that you are using them. No. Be helpful so that they become long associates in the journey of entrepreneurship with you. They walk besides you. Be helpful. If they need some financial, medical, logistic support, please be a little generous. Maybe beyond your capacity sometimes, but it helps to grow in your own setup, in your own business, at workplace, in corporates, in schools, colleges, hospitals. The helpful person at the top can generate positive energies at the workplace. Remember that. So, trustworthiness, appreciation of someone's limit, active listening is the most important. And being helpful is always good. Forgiving. Have positive attitude to have positive environment of work. Forgiveness encourages people to open up about their feelings and enables everybody to move forward. For instance, your office boy is late. If you have already decided, I will listen him out actively and I will forgive him and let's begin the day. We've already lost 1 hour because of his late coming. Let me not ruin the day for him and me and others. Carry on. That's the best attitude. Forgiving others' mistakes because tour is human. That will lead to less stress and less conflicts. अगर आप उसको आते ही डांटेंगे अपने ऑफिस बॉय को, आप क्यों लेट हो, मैंने आपको रखा हुआ है, मेरे को डस्टिंग करनी पड़ती है, मेरे को कमरा साफ करना पड़ता है, मेरा ऑफिस खोलने का ड्यूटी आपका है, आपने कल गाड़ी भी ठीक से पार्क नहीं करी, आप चाय भी ठीक से नहीं बनाते, आप कॉफी भी ठीक से नहीं बनाते. दिस विल लीड टू द कॉन्फ्लिक्ट फॉर होल डे, फॉर अ वीक. In the long run, he must be already looking for a job elsewhere. So avoid conflicts, especially for you when you're starting your work. You're starting to walk your baby of startup. Engage others easily. If you work on these 12 traits I've discussed, you will engage others easily. The people who are sensitive to others' needs, others' problems, will keep others for longer in their journey. Even in corporate environment, we say build a team building. Recently, I was speaking to the TVS Motor employees on team building relationship. All these things are important in team building. All these things are important in communication. All these things are important in marketing and sales. So this is a very, very important domain we are talking about, how to be a successful entrepreneur. As you are interacting with so many people, production, sales, marketing, you're making your bills, collection of your churning of your money and recycling of your products, whatever you're using. कितने सारे areas में आपको देखना है. If you are passionate, listening properly, considerate, compassionate, your job is easy, your work is easy, your productivity will increase, your profitability will increase. These are all directly proportionate to your behavior. It all comes to that. Fairness, be fair. For example, you have 5 people working in your startup, your business, and you are particularly fond of one person. 4 are not living up to your expectation, but they're learning. They are diligent workers. Be fair. Fairness is important. When you understand each other, each 5 of them, you will not do injustice. Unfairness creeps into people. People know that you are rewarding one and not rewarding or reprimanding others. So that is a deterrent that creates conflict and stress kind situations. So you please develop fairness values in you and in your team. Everybody works hard according to their competency. So pat at the back to people who are slow movers and slow learners and less productive is also important, and it brings fairness in the judgment, and it goes a long way. As when I see myself, I've been an activist at heart. I want more equality in society. I want better water for our children to drink. I want good food for our children to eat. I want good educational system. Those dreams in an empathetic heart bring revolutions. Helping your staff helps you to achieve your dream. But in the journey, share their dreams also and their ideas also. They will grow with you. So this is another great virtue of being a good, successful businessman. It will improve you as a person. It will improve your creativity. कई बार आप ताज्जुब करेंगे, एक आदमी जिसको बिल्कुल आप समझते हैं कि इसको मेरे काम की समझ नहीं है, वो आपको जाते जाते ऐसा आइडिया दे जाता है जो कोई MBA भी नहीं दे सकता. मेरे साथ बहुत हुआ है. Listen to them clearly. Then the journey becomes less stress, less conflict, more beautiful, more productive, more profitable. And then intuitive. We all are intuitive by nature. Humans are born with very intuitive mind. Understanding others is instinctive. For example, again the same example, your office boy coming late repeatedly for 3 days. Empathy in your heart will tell you, today if he comes late, I'll sit him down, give him a cup of tea, which I will make, and talk to him ki kya problem hai ghar mein. Maybe he has a ailing mother at home, or a sick child at home, or some financial problem, or some other problems. So, I mean, have that intuitive nature of your heart blossom at the workplace. Don't let the dust gather on it. We all are born with intuitiveness. It's a good human virtue. Kindness is same level. When you are intuitive, you will be automatically kind. You will be demonstrating empathy to others. You will handle relationship with more mature manner. You will respect others with kindness. And your workplace will be beautiful, happy place. Sensitivity. Compassion, active listening brings sensitivity to the mind and the body. An empathetic person will have emotionally interacting sessions, interacting discussions. They will feel deeply for the concern. You have met this boy. You have listened to the problem of your office boy. He is having 80-year-old mother who's sick with asthma, and he can't leave early morning because she gets attacks early morning. He puts the house in the order. There's nobody else in the house. He lives with his old mother. He cleans the room to the perfection, gives her medication, cooks the food, and then comes to job. If you have listened to him properly, then next day onwards you might say, okay beta, आप 20 मिनट लेट आओ लेकिन रोज आओ. और आप उसको एडवाइस कर सकते हैं, उसको उसके लिए एम्पैथेटिक है आपका हार्ट, आप उसको खोना नहीं चाहते. Some people will just say, it's not my business, let me replace the office boy. It's just a matter of opening the office, cleaning the office, and serving a cup of tea or coffee to the visitors. No. I can't tolerate a person who's indisciplined. Another approach is you give him some benefit of time. You give him 20 minutes extra, okay. Or you tell him, you have a problem in the morning. Why don't you clean the office in the evening and do just quick dusting in the morning so that it saves your time and my time? Oh, that's a happy solution because you're sensitive to his needs as well. These are the win-win situations. Attention to detail. Again, I've discussed this. Detail orientation brings focus and meticulous planning. Employers value the quality of work produced by people who pay close attention to the details. For example, we have a friend today who's making wines from mango. It's a very difficult work. It's a very difficult, challenging line. But if he has trained his staff well, he knows the nuances of doing it, then he will definitely bring everybody's attention to the details. That will bring perfection to the bottle of wine, to the tea. So this is what happens when you are yourself focused and attentive. That happens when you have less stress and less conflict by being all these. And then reflective. What is reflection? Sit down in the evening and consider how was your behavior for others instead of just blaming others. Reflect before responding. Sit down and try to sort out the root cause of anybody's behavior at workplace. Everybody has a reason to behave a certain way. Be considerate. Be empathetic. And that's how you grow and you shine in your business. Because ये एक नौकरी नहीं है कि ये नहीं कामयाब हुआ तो कहीं और जाके नौकरी कर ली. आजकल के वर्क कल्चर में such a toxic work culture in private companies. You only go for 2 years to learn and then quit. You go to next one to learn and quit in 8 months. But what will you do with your own startup? Will you leave it halfway and put it down the drain? No. It's for keeps, it's for growth, it's for business, it's for happiness. Best part about startups is happiness, that you've chosen a field which makes you happy. Aren't we? And then बहुत सारे फायदे आपको होने वाले हैं. आपकी प्रोडक्टिविटी बढ़ेगी, आपका बेनिफिट्स बढ़ेंगे, आपके एसेट्स बढ़ेंगे, आपका सबसे बड़ा एसेट जो ह्यूमन रिसोर्स है वो बढ़ेगा, आपकी कस्टमर सेटिस्फैक्शन बढ़ेगी, बिकॉज यू हैव अ हैप्पी टीम. एज अ person responsible, as a founder or a co-founder, you are an empathetic person, you have qualities in you, you have cultivated those qualities in your team, and it is a win-win situation for production, for productivity, for sales, for marketing, for profitability, and for your growth. These are tried and tested qualities of any successful person at workplace, oblique business, oblique startup, oblique home, school, college, hospital, everywhere and anywhere. All right. So I would say empathy is just not a personality trait or a virtue. It's a philosophy of life. Whereas making money is an action. आप shares में भी बना सकते हो पैसा तो. An empathetic person will have definitely edge over other business competitors. If you are not what I'm telling you to be, the empathetic human being with your customers and clients and employees, you can't do well. It's a business edge. It's a hard skill. It's not a soft skill. There's no other way you can operate in a business with your rude behavior. So what I mean is, seeing things from others' point of view and listening actively is the key to success for your startup baby. This is my email ID. I can be reached here, and now I'm coming for the most interesting part of my presentation, to know that what have you learned. All right? Do you need a quick recap of those 20? Reflective, attentive, sensitive, kind, intuitive, have dreams, consider others' dreams, fairness, engage others easily, avoid conflicts, which will avoid stress, forgive, learn to forgive, be helpful, trustworthy, appreciation of others' areas, others' limits. Active listening is the most important. Underline this. Patience, compassion, problem-solving attitude rather than creating problems for your own self. Creativity, selflessness, and inquisitiveness. अगर आप दूसरे के जीवन में इंटरेस्टेड है तभी तो आप पूछेंगे. Now I come to all of you, and I hope you all have listened patiently, and please start your videos so that we can have an open chat room to discuss it further and to discuss other important issues. हाँ जी, मजा आया सबको?
Yes, ma'am.
मुझे तो बहुत मजा आया. You know?
Me too, ma'am. Actually, I can, our company and we both the team member can relate what you explained. And
I have very simple content. I believe in very simple content and delivering it in a systematic, simple manner, so that you know how many times I revised each word so that it stays with you. Right?
Right. So, ma'am, can I say some my points, what I learned, and maybe what is my view also? Some I have one couple of question, maybe short question.
Regarding this session?
Yes.
Okay.
The what I learned, yeah.
Let everybody come. Yeah, let everybody come. You keep your question to one first so that everybody gets time to. I'm with you guys till lunchtime, that is 2 p.m. And you all have the most important question written down so that everybody gets a chance to discuss. You start with your question. One question, please.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Ashim Kumar.
Yeah. Yes.
Saha.
Yes. Yeah.
You are working in which area? Which part of India?
Mostly, ma'am, northeast and hilly terrain, Uttarakhand.
Those areas is our main
Where
concern.
in Northeast and Uttarakhand? I
Asha,
go to
no,
Uttarakhand. I've worked in Northeast. Tell me.
Right, in Northeast, especially in Assam part and Meghalaya, we are kindly working.
Assam and Meghalaya. Oh, Assam. Where in Assam?
Yeah, in Assam, kind of, ma'am, Morigaon district and Jorhat.
Oh, Jorhat.
Yes.
Very nice.
And in Uttarakhand, ma'am, we went to Champabat. And actually, the Joshi sir actually, he invited us once we met.
Connectivity is a problem, huh?
Yeah, ma'am, I think there's a network issue. आशिम अगर कैमरा ऑफ करेंगे तो शायद आवाज आ पाएगी. आपका
आप कैमरा
आवाज
ऑफ
नहीं
करें और अपना क्वेश्चन पूछे प्लीज. I think he's having connectivity problems. Never mind. You kindly drop a message to him, Mani, so that he knows he's not.
Ma'am, I just muted him. पता नहीं क्या हो रहा है.
Solution specially for hilly terrain, because maybe yes. So okay, well now can we?
All right. So everybody, did you have some clarity on the virtues as a businessman, as an entrepreneur you should have, and to cultivate and to hone these skills at a different level altogether for more success?
Yes.
Asha, now I want to ask all of you, since you all are startup founders and co-founders, can you tell me who's the youngest businessman in India? What is the name of a person whose youngest startup, youngest in age?
Youngest startup.
अभी आप बताइए, किसी को पता है कि नहीं? आप जब स्टार्टअप करते हैं तो थोड़ा होमवर्क करके स्टार्टअप करते हैं ना.
Madam, can you tell me the area? I'm just getting something, but I'm not able to recollect.
No, there's a boy with the name of Tilak Mehta. When he saw the Dabbawalas in Mumbai, because I was just researching my content for a big presentation. I'm going to speak to university students next week, for engineering students of first year and second year, third, fourth year, about the startup scenario in India. So I was just researching. I said, let me see who's the youngest boy. Tilak Mehta. He started his own tech enterprise with the name of Paper and Parcels. He got motivated by the Mumbai Dibbawalas, who feed quite a sizable population of Mumbai. They take khana from home cooked khana, and they deliver. And they have a system which is one of its kind in the world. All right. And what is your knowledge about the most successful startup in India in the recent times? Who do you think it is? Because when you come to a startup domain and you go for training, you must have your information clearly, na? किसकी सबसे ज्यादा सक्सेसफुल स्टोरी है? एक वेटनेरियन भी थे, उनसे मैं बात करूंगी.
Is it Zerodha?
Sorry?
Is it Zerodha?
No.
The most successful startup recently?
Most successful Abhinav, no. Most successful start is this boy Ritesh of Oyo Hotels. No capital, no office, no team, just an idea. Zero finance. No funding. He just he created a platform for already existing infrastructure and provided the cheapest room to the people who travel from one city to other city. Ritesh Agarwal.
Is it really a most successful startup, ma'am?
In the recent times, that's a ice-breaking, groundbreaking story. There are many. But if I see his efforts, his capital, this is the most. And look at his age. He's not even 30. He just had the idea. And everybody has got idea from the hardship they faced. I was just going through 100-odd stories of startups because I'm addressing the youth in an open amphitheater. You know, I'll be walking around and connecting eyes with 700 students. So I said, let me just make it more interesting for them. So, you know, and so I thought of sharing with you all. When you are in a particular field, you must do the research of that field parallel to you. How many people are making wine if I'm making wine? What are their qualities? I go to the breweries as a common man. I go there as a customer. What is their strong point I can take? That variance analysis is very important for any kind of startups. I had a young girl who's making food. Young lady who's making food. 2 days back, I met 2 young girls from Hyderabad who are doing millet food for animals as well as humans. 100% millets. They are making biscuits and dog food and all that. So what I'm saying is, since the beginning from 2016, we have a journey in India under the Atmanirbhar Bharat, which is so fantastic. People come with brilliant ideas. Brilliant ideas. I get surprised at the time of innovation of young and not so young minds, you know. And I was going through your cohort. They are exceptionally brilliant children, brilliant people here. And but you need to have that in you to sustain it. 55% of startups in India fail because of bad planning, bad finances. You know that. More than that. The picture is scary. I always tell everybody in all the centers कि आपकी मंशा क्या है, इसको आप मंशा को समझ लें अपना पहले. और आप शिद्दत से इसको करेंगे तो ये जरूर हो जाएगा. और शिद्दत आती है सारी चीजों पे वर्क करने से, जो मैंने अभी पॉइंट सवेरे आपको बताए हैं. शिद्दत इज अ वेरी गुड उर्दू वर्ड. शिद्दत इज लाइक पैशन, which is higher than the purpose. What is the purpose of your startup? When you identify that, there has to be a higher purpose than just earning money, right? How many of you agree with me?
No.
Right? When your passion becomes beyond your money-making pursuit, then it becomes a purpose. And that purpose becomes everybody else's purpose in your team. If you are good as a team leader, and then you shine, then the glory comes, no matter what you're making. Even if somebody is just branding multigrain atta, have a niche in the market just by being different, by being honest, by being empathetic, by being genuine, by being truthful to yourself. So these are the virtues you need to cultivate. All right. Yes, Dr. Sarkar, what is your opinion? Tell me.
It's very difficult to create something based on your idea. But we have to make difficult things easier and workable with our effort, with our way of working, with our knowledge, and with the help of our colleagues and teammates.
You said it is difficult.
We as founders, we have to make difficult things easier.
Yes,
So,
absolutely. I'm a farmer, I'm a scientist, I'm a wheat scientist, and I'm a farmer as well. I have an organic farm near my house in Uttarakhand. So I know how difficult it is to have agriculture-based things, food processing. I know how it is.
so it's our responsibility to make difficult things easier by breaking down in smaller pieces.
Absolutely.
Start
Because
working on those small.
Working on ground zero is a different ball game than just having a seminar or being in a webinar or just writing notes in the office. When you're on ground zero in the field, when the heat and the cold and the rain hits you and the realities of land hit you, there's water problem, there's soil health, so many challenges are there in the organic agriculture sector these days and allied sectors. And I really feel very happy when I see young and not so young, and the women and the housewives and the retired people coming to the startup platforms and roaring to go with an idea. I always tell every cohort in every university, in every institute, let me see where they are 5 years from now. I want to meet you guys somewhere after 5 years. We are starting today, you know. The guys who started in 2016 are my case studies.
And people who started in 2012, they are stories now.
They're stories, absolutely. And there are, that's why I was surprised. I have so many stories to put in my hard disk here to talk to the young people in India that, you know, what amazing work we are doing. But then it's more than meet the eye. Sometimes, you know, especially in the tech sector, you guys are in the tech sector, the actual product launch is not matching the statistics. Whereas a small farmer will have a machine launched. I've had boys from Haryana who have a machine which dries the chilies at the green stage, grinds it, packs it. And they have patented that machine only for 40,000 rupees, which costs 20 times more in Japan, because Japan is the largest market of green chili powder. So there are some amazing stories, but in those people I've seen there's a lot of conviction, a lot of hard work, a lot of honesty to do that project. They're not just doing for reasons A to Z. They're doing it because they want to do it no matter what. That's the kind of drive we need from all of you. All right. No matter what.
Madam,
Ji, boliye.
you know that you are telling the green chili powder. You're telling the machine they have designed is that will make green chili powder.
Yeah, they dry the chilies so that they don't lose the greenness of the chili. They have a technology by air drying it. It doesn't lose the food value, and then they remove the seeds and just the flakes, the green flakes, like we have chili flakes with pizzas coming.
Okay.
And that is first in India. A boy from Panipat has made it.
Okay. I'll get the details later from you.
Yeah. हाँ जी, आप अपने बारे में बताएं. Which stage is your startup now?
Okay. Still in a design stage. Okay. My background is actually I did something on the electric vehicle in 2006 and 2013. I already have a team with CAD design and always with electronic design. Okay, so for me it will take hardly 2 months to come out with the product. Okay, so almost design is CAD design is over. I have not started with the manufacturing activity. Okay, so it will hardly take 3-4 months. Okay, I know the design. Everything is finalized. Only thing is matter of putting everything XYZ into the perfect area. That's all. But 2-3 things which I'm planning later stage, which I don't do right now. Means whatever is that is phase 2. I'm not getting into the phase 1 itself.
Okay. Dr. Sakshi, can you switch on your camera, please?
Ma'am, Sakshi ma'am is from our office only, like.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not a startup, yes.
Or not a startup. All right. I didn't see the IR, I think. All right. There was a young girl speaking about the food, the spelling with the fruit.
Ma'am, yes, Shefali.
F and the roots. Yeah, Shefali. Are you around, Shefali Berry? Miss Shefali. Yeah. What did you learn today morning? Switch on your camera. Let me see you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. What did you learn?
Everything that you said, ma'am, is very true. And empathy, is a very important aspect that you were talking about.
Great.
So, yeah, so basically, it's all about people management. How do we understand people, and how do we understand if they're going through any problems? All those virtues of people management is what is my takeaway from today's lecture. So,
how do you see the food industry helping the young people who leave homes and go and live in PGs and flats away from home?
Yeah.
How do you see that as a problem? And do you have any idea to solve this problem? I'm asking the whole class. Shefali first.
Exactly. So food, that is what I was talking earlier also, ma'am. So when we talk about food, we generally first thing that comes to our mind is, we have to feed, 1 billion people, 10 billion people going forward. So that number is increasing. So feeding so many people vis-a-vis whatever we are feeding, that should be, quality produce. Like, for example, even day before yesterday also, there was some survey in Bangalore wherein heavy metal contamination was quite high in a lot of vegetables in Bangalore. Even bought from e-commerce platform as well as other vegetable vendors also. I don't want to name all those, but there was a survey. So quality wise, we are quite far behind other developed countries, because we have a large population to feed to. We first always think about food security. And like, to answer to your question, those youngsters who leave their house and they work, they stay in PG. तो कहीं पे भी खाना खाने के लिए proper, I don't think they would be eating. They generally have, साथ में vendors जहाँ पे भी होते हैं नीचे, food vendors, वहाँ से वड़ा पाव खा लिया. That could be their dinner. Or they just have a small bite of dosa. That could be their lunch. So we actually, when we were doing our pilot project, we started, there was a pilot that we were doing wherein we were making salads, ready to eat salads as a product. So there was green leafy greens as well, part of that. There was veggies, and there was a protein component. Could be chickpea, could be soya, tofu. Those components are also there. So that was actually, that gave us a lot of insight that a lot of people want to eat good. But because those kind of salads were quite costly, 250, 350, 400, even 400 also. And we were selling at that point of time in around between 150 to 200. So that was quite a hit. It was a small population where we did this project in Bombay, but it was good, and we were getting good traction also.
No, that's for working class, the young executives who are working in companies. A student cannot afford to have a 400 rupees salad right now, because he's still living on his father's and mother's money, right?
That's what. Yeah.
That's, I'm talking about everybody. I'm asking who's raised the hand. Vishal, go ahead. Vishal, do you have any input on this problem? Our country is facing a huge problem. As you know, we have the largest population below 30 in our country in the world. And most of them comprise students from rural, urban and semi-urban areas living in big cities for a dream to achieve, going for education. What do you recommend? What kind of food chain we need to develop in our country to feed this population?
Ready to eat foods, ma'am, is a good option wherein, healthy products are taken. Like example, millets. Millet based ready to eat upmas or millet based khichdis, which is like they can just go and open somewhere and just quickly, cook it. So that could be healthy option also. And because it could be less costly also as compared to, all those KFCs or McDonald's burgers and all. So a lot of startups are working.
I would like
give inputs. Yeah, please. Who's speaking?
Yeah, ma'am. It's Utsav, ma'am. Yeah, Climb Agro Analytics.
Mhm.
So, means like what I observed is whatever the 20 skills you have shared, and means this all inclusiveness, and this is all built around the human centric. Okay, so we humans have built these things, keeping ourselves as a center. Okay, so and over the years we have left the other species in this planet, and in broader sense nature. Okay, so all the fruit things we are talking, all the vegetables which we are saying it is organic and all those things, they are balanced diet. But lately I start observing, or like many years it was happening, that when you don't give a particular crop or a particular food its time, there is every, let's say if there is an orange, it has its own cycle. Let's say it's chilies, so until unless the beach appears, it won't give you the chili flavors, and there is a chemical processes that goes on, and if you eat those things in between, it won't going to help you, and I think it will going to affect in long run. So whatever it's coming into market, whether from organic, non-organic, but we are changing the cycle very abruptly. I have seen many fruits, you are eating apple, but we have changed the whole cycle. So whatever the juice, whatever the pulp we should have got, if it was ripe in a 3 months, 4 months, we are killing it at least 1 month or 2 months only. So how come you are saying what we are bringing in the form of organic and in the form of like healthy and all those things, is it healthy or not? It is still a questionable mark, which I realized, because once the prices are higher, the farmers to get extra money, they will unripe vegetable, they will just extract from their field and they will sell it in good prices because they have their price concerns and all those things. So this is still a questionable mark, because, and this is like I want to add, then how to bring this natural process of every crop or whatever we are taking to its own natural course. First we have to bring, because but
I have
we
an
have
answer for that. First is a classic example of unripe bananas traveling pan-India with carbides on it.
Yes, ma'am.
I have one very, very relevant suggestion to the entire country. Wherever I speak, I talk about this. If India stops eating carbide bananas, it becomes everybody's business. If it becomes everybody's business, we don't eat bananas supplied with carbide. Let me see how the supply chain will not get ruined.
Yes.
But it's we as Indians, as a nation, and it's a huge nation, to take that call. For example, I was in Europe from mid-June to end July, and I heard from my Indian friends that they were crying for tomatoes. Tomatoes were selling at 300, 400 rupees a kilo.
Yes, ma'am.
They said, "Kya kare? What is the alternative? You are a scientist, you tell us." I told, puree le lo, tinned le lo, tomato ketchup ko use kar lo, etc., etc. But then I got fed up of people's obsession with tomatoes. Then I wrote a blog saying, don't buy tomatoes from the market. If you don't buy it for a week, they'll become 30 rupees a kilo. Who will buy?
Yes.
I have personally in my life done. I don't buy onions when they become more than 30, 40 rupees a kilo. I don't buy. You learn to cook without onions.
Yes, yes.
Or you grow your own onions. This year I'm going to grow all my tuber friends of winters, garlics, ginger, onions, and potatoes. Because I have monkey menace, and these 4 crops monkeys don't eat. So I have a 1 bigger farm in my house, and I'm going to just grow these 4. So there is a solution to everything, provided we are ready to take a call as a community, as a society.
Yes,
in Dehradun, suppose the tomatoes were selling at 400 rupees a kilo, and as an activist, and I stand and give my diktat in the community which follows me that don't buy tomatoes.
Yes.
And if everybody, even 50% people follow me that, ma'am, we will not buy tomatoes from 1st of October till 15th of October when they're selling expensive. See the hoarders. It will impact the CM's office if you do that as a community. I'm telling you, friends.
But my question is, can humans see beyond these things? Because I realized that humans are the most selfish species. I worked in the blood donation organization for like decade.
I'll
So
take,
I have
yeah.
seen.
I'll take a call. Yeah, you are absolutely right. I said selflessness. Because of our selfishness to survive on this planet, we have ruined the water bodies, the soil health, the drinking water. Now you can't go to Delhi and Gurgaon. The air quality is so bad. Yeah, I'm coming to you kindly. Abhinav. Somebody's raised the hands. Let me take the questions. Yeah, Abhinav Pundir. Oh, this is a Pahadi boy. Abhinav, come. What's your question? Yeah.
Hello, ma'am. I'm really sorry for the disturbance. I am at the railway station. So really sorry for the noise. But number one, I would like to thank you for the lesson. It was more of a podcast for me because listening to it was enlightening. And I listened to a lot of leadership podcasts. So I would even like to say that it was more of like a leadership lesson for entrepreneurs like us, that how we should. So, ma'am, I'm really thankful for this.
Thank you, Abhinav. And if you are in Dehradun, come to my residence and make a podcast because I'm a little technologically impaired person. There is a demand of my podcast pan India, but I don't do it. You come and do it, son.
I'll do it for sure because we are starting an initiative, Javik Darpan, where we will talk about it. I also have a dream to meet Vandana Shiva. She is also an activist in organic, and now I would love to meet her.
Thanks for reminding. In 2014, I led a movement of 5,000 farmers in a forest called Charba against Coca-Cola. If you are from Uttarakhand, you know it was all covered heavily in the media. As at that time, I held a very important position in today's materialistic world. I was the convener of Aam Aadmi Party in Uttarakhand. Very interesting chapter of my life. So I led a movement with Vandana Shiva in a village forest called Charba. And Vijay Bahuguna ji was the chief minister and a very dear friend. And the MOU was destroyed by me on the stage in front of I've got a picture. I don't know how to share it. And that was the beginning of, a movement. We moved the farmers from all over India and we brought them on the stage because they were filing PILs for the toxicity in the soil. And just because of two women in Dehradun, Vandana Shiva and Asha Kapoor, we said no Coca-Cola. And we saved the farmland. It was a forest land. It's a history. I look very ordinary, but I've led very extraordinary movements in my lifetime. Another thing which I touched millions of lives is, listen to me, when I was 21 years old, married to a tea planter in Assam, I went to Assam and every third person had a goiter. Britishers, when they planted tea in India, they wanted the labor, cheap labor, not to work like slaves. So they hooked them on a high salt black tea. The big water bowsers were brewed with high salt water tea, and that salt was not even iodized. And every third labor community person had a goiter. So when I went there, I told my young husband, who was an assistant manager, working on a bicycle in a 800 plus hectare of land, working hard day in and day out, cycling around, a very popular guy among the women pluckers. And I told him, we are working in Tata Tea. Even I was a R&D executive there. I said, why don't we have salt for them, which is iodized? And that changed the lives of millions in plantations. One idea which is empathetic for others can revolutionize the life on this planet, my dear. Every one of you, each one of you, I'm telling you. So that idea, it doesn't come to everybody,
It's an honor, ma'am. It's really an honor. We don't realize whose presence we are in, but it's really an honor.
Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. And I wish great success to each one of you in your life. But वही है, empathy रखनी है. My life, I'm glad that I was chosen by Manisha ma'am for this topic. My life is a loaded example of empathy. And
that's wonderful.
And it glows. It brings glory to your personal life, to your family, to your immediate family, to your house, to people you touch. So it's wonderful. Abhinav, तुमको podcast बनाना है, आके आ जाओ.
Honor, ma'am. I would reach out to you next month only.
Yeah, take my number from Manisha ma'am.
Thanks a lot, ma'am. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Okay. Yes, Manisha ma'am, any questions from your side? Anything which you want me to touch? And
No, ma'am. They're all covered, like well covered, the things.
Great, great.
Ma'am, I have a question. Actually, I had a question. Ashim again. I
Mr.
had some network
Saha,
issues.
Mr. Saha, you were not audible. Your question was addressed. Kindly repeat.
Yes, actually, I have also message, ma'am. Actually, so as you said, our team actually, yes, the core team, they are really kind of very good human beings who are working with us. They are kind of a family member with us, right? So what happened, ma'am, with us? Recently, we wanted to add a member, team member for our baby, but somehow it didn't work. Kind of the other member didn't gel. It was kind of something, it didn't work. So my question is, ma'am, we need a people who don't look for hi-fi institute or a very experienced people. We look for a good person, good human being, and who will be honest. So your advice from your experience, how to kind of decide that factor that okay, he or she will be a yes, good as a good human being while interviewing. That is my question.
Very good question. This I also touch when I talk about cost control. When you sit with non-judgmental heart and mind, when you interview people for keeping, you will find people. You have to have eyes for that. Right? It is like going to the most crowded shopping area and picking up your kind of trouser in 5 minutes. It works like that. You have to have those virtues in you when you're looking for a team. And then rest is grooming, and then retaining, and then rewarding. These are the points.
Right. With me, ma'am, one problem is they are kind of, I trust everyone. I feel okay, everyone
Because
is good.
you are a good-hearted person, Mr. Asim Kumar Saha from Cuttack. I've read your message. You are a good-hearted person. Don't worry. Be patient. Good team will come to you. Manifest your energies in a correct direction. ये सबके साथ होता है. Good-hearted people get cheated. Good-hearted people feel pain. मुझे क्यों हो रहा है? मैं तो बहुत अच्छा हूँ या बहुत अच्छी हूँ. God मेरे साथ क्यों कर रहे हो? होता है. Channelize your energies. People will walk into your office. I'm telling you. All right.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you.
Ma'am, can you repeat that? Because I think I also need to hear it again.
Yeah. See, when you are sitting with a non-judgmental heart and mind, you will get good people. You will retain them. You will reward them, and they will remain with you. There are many hours to it. But then you have to sit with the heart, which is just non-judgmental.
Okay.
Yeah. Like your mothers must be having problems at home to retain the house help. Or your father, if he's running a business, to have I have had people known to me from business communities who are rich people, having a team of accountants from 3 generations. Dada was an accountant with Bahi Khata, then the son, little educated, BCom, and then the chartered accountant grandson. How do they do that? By these qualities. To make them your own family. Nobody is like your own blood family, but like a family. Right? You get what you seek. It's the law of manifestation. And I've seen it in my life happening many a times.
But ma'am, my question would be like, see, even if sometimes it also happens, like even if we are trying to do our best, you know, in whatever we're doing, whatever it is, maybe it's about the work or not about the work.
Yeah.
But sometimes some people are there like who are just, you know, I mean, you can read those energies.
Absolutely.
That they are trying to make you like a resource, maybe, you know, make some good use of you.
Yeah.
That I would say. And how to deal with those energies and with those people.
Right. You will find most of them these days. They are called toxic takers.
Okay.
Right? This community comes in a bracket of toxic takers.
Toxic takers.
Okay. They will sweet talk you into taking your advantage. You are a good person. You are a good human being. You are a good worker. You are a good resource person. You keep giving as much as is required of your job. But draw a line. Draw a line. Don't let it affect your well-being.
Okay.
It is in you. You have to identify. As you said, you see the energies, and women are more intuitive than men here.
Yeah, that's so true.
That's in DNA. So when you have that feeling coming to you, you draw the line without telling the person, and then you see your energies will help you overcome that. It has happened many times. I've helped fellow colleagues, I've helped people, unknown ladies who have heard me in universities from far-flung areas. They call me for all kind of problems, such personal problems that they can't even tell their spouses or parents, and they call me. And I don't leave number, but somehow they find my number. And then God has been kind that I've been able to help them.
Okay.
It works, Manisha.
Yes, ma'am, it does. It does. Yeah. And yeah, we do face these things on a daily basis, but that doesn't also that also does not mean that there are no good people. There are.
No, not at
That's
all.
why the world is, happy.
First finger is on me. I'm the good person. I'm the best.
Yeah.
Half the battle is already over.
Right. You're right.
Yeah. Half the battle is already over. When you go with this mindset to your office and be mindful each day of everybody else's activities, that what are they out there? This helps. These two things help.
Okay. Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Good.
Ma'am, before you leave, just a very short thing.
Hanji, boliye.
हाँ मैम
I have a
आसाम
very
में थे
inquisitive mind here, Ashim Kumar. I'm so happy. Yes, tell
मैम
me.
आप आसाम में थे, उत्तराखंड में थे, मतलब heavy. So and also you are kind of working with the small scale farmers, all right? Same for us. So can you kind of connect how?
Acha, Ashim, it's a very interesting journey. I was born in a small town called Rohtak in Haryana, in a Zamindar family. Then I got my higher education from Haryana Agriculture University. I'm a wheat scientist. I did my research in wheat, brought out some varieties. My paper was published in a West German wheat journal called Eucarpia. I was invited to present my paper there. My first job was with R&D executive in Tata Tea. I'm the first woman officer in the 180-year history of tea plantations. That's my first, one feather in the cap. And then I lived in Assam for 17 years in various capacities. I worked in the sector of dairy farming, poultry, fisheries. I worked with women. I worked with the nutrition, rather malnutrition of the labor children as a executive's wife, as a outreach program of Tata's. And then because of personal problems, I relocated in year 2006 in Uttarakhand, Dehradun, where I live now since then. And then I left R&D. I left the luxuries of tea plantations as a planter's wife, and I came here to start the life on my own as a scientist. Then I started teaching in FRI, and I started my own company with the name of Global Solutions India, and I became a trainer, a self-taught trainer with little capsules. When my children had summer vacations, I would go to IIM Ahmedabad, IIM Calcutta to get myself trained, and then I became a full-fledged trainer. So this is my story.
I think I can connect really well with you. So I think, yeah, we can really
Thank you,
sound
Ashim. I
together.
wish you great success. And ma'am, I can see Minhas ma'am. How was the session, ma'am? Did you learn something new today? Kindly unmute yourself. Yeah. Kindly unmute yourself, Ranju ma'am. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a wonderful session. Actually, I am training women at NCUI and also with NULM, a lot of SHITIJs. And there are many startups working on millets, millet atta, millet namkeen. So I'm trying to, even I have my own startup by the name Pure Wash, where one part, like I just spoke, it was about first, trying to manage the kitchen waste, what best way. And you see, when we all want to save money, we all want to enjoy good health. So, and how we can do it. Good health is more productivity, and also money saved is money earned. So I show them that how following all these practices, they can actually save close to 12,000 to 15,000 per month. So that is one part, that why they should manage waste. And the other part is also during the festivities, whatever festival time is the time where a lot of pollution happens. So I did a session with them for, organic colors. It was just 15 days prior to Holi. And it is a published report in NCUI that they made collectively, they made a profit of 10 lakhs. I also sold about 15,000 worth of colors. But next Holi, I think a lot of only colors made by SHG will be selling. And it was sold at we fixed a price for that.
On this note, ma'am, I'll urge all of you to influence people in your neighborhood, in your society, in your community, in your family, in your city, to have a green Diwali.
Yeah.
Please.
Yes, ma'am. This is what alternatives we can give to people. And also we did I have a Facebook group by the name Freedom from Waste, where I've taken a lot of free sessions. And out of those free sessions, one corporate, a girl working with corporate, she left her job, and then she took extra trainings from me, and now she has launched her own brand by name Mahi Tatwa. Vandana Verma करके हैं, तो उन्होंने उदयपुर में शुरू किया, similar to what I'm doing. So I'm happy, then a lot of and
Wonderful.
Yeah, so I'm working with women, and also I'm trying to make them as resource persons. Like I buy things from them, the raw stock, and then I make my products, and I'm trying to find a marketplace for all. This is what I'm doing.
Wonderful, wonderful, ma'am. Wonderful. Blessings to each one of you for having a noble cause. And remember, each one of you, I urge in all my cohorts, in all my seminars, in all my webinars, kindly, kindly, kindly do not pack your products in a toxic polythene packet. Go for recycled products, go for natural products, go for brown paper. I have become such a staunch activist for polythene. I will take a carry bag, carry the gift in that, give the most expensive gift to my friends, and then I will ask that bag back. Can I take that bag? Because people have no sensitivities, they will throw it in the dustbin. I said, give me that bag so that I can put another gift in it and give it to somebody else. So there are 4 things which we say: reuse, recycle, reproduce. And the first are from Asha ma'am today is refuse.
Refuse, yes.
Refuse polythene, refuse plastic, carry your own bags. People say, हम तो morning walk में आए थे, हमने सब्जी खरीद ली, 10 polythene ले लिए. Refuse. Refuse for unnecessary clutter in your life. Refuse for unnecessary clutter for your water bodies, for your earth. Refuse noise pollution. Don't honk unnecessarily. When we learn this biggest R called refuse, our lives will be better on this planet. This planet will be better, which we have to leave. We got a healthier planet from our grandfathers and fathers, and now we are leaving a very unhealthy planet for our children and grandchildren. God bless the great-grandchildren. What kind of chaos we are leaving for them? Bad soil, bad water, bad air quality. जो 5 तत्व हैं उसी को हमने खत्म कर दिया. तो इन 5 तत्वों को बचाना हमारा सबसे बड़ा धर्म होना चाहिए as a human being from morning till evening, you know.
Ma'am, first is like what you said, consumer pattern. We are unnecessarily buying things without thinking what is going to happen to it. So it all ends up in the...
Any more messages which I haven't answered, ma'am? Let me just... Time is up now.
Ma'am,
have I answered everybody? Yeah.
Ma'am, can I ask you a question? What was your experience like when you told us that you were trying to make wine from lychee when you were there at Northeast?
Yeah.
So, what was the alcohol content like after fermentation, and what was the sugar residual sugar after the product? What was it like? Was it a dry wine, or was it on a sweeter side?
See, this wine happened by a hobby. I bake, I make a lot of, I had to do food processing because I lived on tea plantations. Whenever I had guests, I had to have ready stock. The nearest market sometimes would be 150 kilometers from my house. I lived in remote jungles. So this kind of learning was my necessity.
Okay. As actually, ma'am, I am too. I'm a entrepreneur. I am not a technically qualified person.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to do this with the help of people who are technically qualified, be it PUSA or we have an institute here of ICR, ICISH. So both the places I'm trying to get
Okay.
help from them.
See,
So
mine was purely a passion. When I made a lot of lychee juice, my lychee juice started fermenting. So I put little yeast, and then I siphoned it through a very primitive way. Cotton swabs and cloth and muslin cloth, and then sieves, and then sunned it, and then decanted it, and then put the wines in the flower show, and I won first prize year after year. And my decanters were always empty, and I'm very thankful to the bachelors that they drank the wine, but they never took the decanters. So that's the journey, very very small scale. कुंवर साहब आप तो प्रोफेशनली कर रहे हैं, एंड आई एम वेरी प्लीज. हम लखनऊ आने वाले हैं अगले महीने.
मैम कभी भी आए मैम, आई विल बी वेरी हैप्पी मैम.
आपका
आपसे
नंबर
जरूर
काइंडली मुझे इनबॉक्स कर दे, तो आपका नंबर हम ले लेंगे.
बिल्कुल कर देता हूँ मैम.
माय फैमिली इज ओरिजिनली फ्रॉम लखनऊ सदर बाजार दिलकुशा
ओके
गार्डन.
जी मैम. जी
तो आपका नंबर दें, हम आपकी जरूर विजिट करेंगे.
जी.
एंड मेरी तो जर्नी वाइन की यही थी कि फॉर फन आई मेड वाइन. व्हेन माय लॉट ऑफ स्टॉक, यू हैव 20 trees of lychee, what do? You distribute, you eat, you give it to the staff, you give it in the club, you give it to bachelors. What do? Then मेरा जब बड़े बड़े मेरे पास जार्स थे ग्लास के, जब मेरा जूस फर्मेंट होने लगा तो मैंने वाइन बना दी, and it came out as a sparkling wine. A lot of army friends drank it. Some people borrowed it.
And sparkling, like it's carbonated. So how come it got carbonated? Sparkling is like champagne.
No, it was sparkling in the sense that I let it rest. I let it brew. I let it rot in a common sense. I left it in a store for 20 months. And then when I took it out and decanted
aging was
yes,
there.
it matured on its own. It was like going to a cellar and untouched. My Bera would go and check the growth of molds and fungus. No fungus. नहीं है मैम साहब, सब साफ है ऊपर से, थोड़ा फिर से छान दो. And I kept doing the whatever knowledge I had of my labs. How I decanted it is a history, you know, with a funnel and a cotton, and drop by drop, the night chowkidar would send and drain it. I had the luxury of being a bada mimsa with the tea garden. I had the manpower. So I collected bottles, and people have really enjoyed it.
जी.
Absolutely. So your journey is totally professional journey. Mine was a happiness and hobby journey, you know.
मैम बहुत आपसे भी काफी कुछ सीखने को मिला मैम.
बट मैंने खूब सिल्वर कॉइन्स जीते उसमें. फर्स्ट प्राइज जहां भी मैं वो वाइन लेके जाती थी, मुझे फर्स्ट प्राइज मिलता था. Because that little knowledge of science and fermentation and microbiology helped, you know. I'm a biotechnology student, so it helped me. So all right, class, I have been with you for over 2 hours now, and I'm sure each one of you have a takeaway home today, and each one of you are like my personal happiness that all of you are doing something which no one else has done before. And please do it with honesty. Please do it with conviction, and please just don't do it for the sake of doing. Do it because you want to achieve something. So that's the parting slogan to all of you. And keep shining, keep performing, keep winning hearts, and keep growing. Fir milenge.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you for taking out time for us. And it has been really enlightening. And also, like, we all had some, questions, which was really good. And I think, we've been teaching them so many technical things and so many things about, how to do business and stuff. But yeah, nobody has taught us yet, like from all the mentors, that how to be mindful of whatever we are doing. So that was really needed for today. Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you once again.
God bless.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye.
Okay.
See you soon sometime. You can take my email, and I need few numbers kindly.
Yeah.
I've requested for few numbers. Kindly WhatsApp me. Bye-bye.
Yeah, ma'am. I'll share your details with these startups, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Bye. God bless.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye-bye. फिर मिलेंगे.